Jane Morrison on my left, Iyla Alvarado on my right, two of the big reasons why Long Beach Wilson back in really top quality form entering the postseason, and no better place for the reigning Division II champions to take on the gold standard. Just because they're not the reigning Division I champions doesn't mean that they're still not the most decorated program in the history of California girls beach volleyball in Mira Costa. The final score doesn't reflect how fantastic both of you were, and obviously you're able to get a W against Notre Dame Academy going into the postseason. Like I was talking to the coaches, like just how much of a blessing is this that it's like on the last day of the regular season. Obviously you had some great competition in the More League pairs tournament. You got to play Sadie and Simi and whatnot, but then you go out and play Allyn Hilt and Lily Sprague. Like, how good is that for the two of you heading to the postseason? And because I think it's only going to be 8 teams in the top division, so that says that Long Beach Wilson's got another chance to win a Division II championship. We hope, but just that level of competition and that test and that challenge, how good was that for you today?
It was really fun. I mean, I think when we played in the More League pairs, it was really fun when we got paired up with Simran and Sadie, because I mean, we're the twos, we don't we don't block or anything, and so when we realized like, oh shoot, we have to block, then when we came over to Mira Costa, it was like now we kind of know. I mean, it was just really exciting in general, and we went into Mira Costa game just like, what can you expect? I mean, you don't have any expectations. They're ranked number 1 or 2 in the country, so getting a couple points off of them was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jane, just in terms of the coaching staff wanting to expose both of you, like Iyla just said, like, you're usually not a blocking tandem, but it's like, hey, we want to be able to experiment with those things and and kind of test ourselves with those things in the regular season, and not have to try to adjust that way, like between set 1 and set 2, in a postseason match. So the fact that you can experiment with some things and kind of trial and error some things today, does that give you kind of more optimism or reassurance or security going into the playoffs? Because obviously I know that they're going to do the best possible job in terms of scouting the opponent and preparing you ladies, but it seems like, okay, now we're ready for everything. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's like really helpful when we play teams like this that are really good, because it will help us prepare for like in the future teams that we play in CIF. Like, we've already like played against the best, so like we know how to play against everyone else. Kind of.
What is the overall energy and vibe? I mean, obviously, no one's ever going to take away that championship plaque. That's forever for the two of you and for the Long Beach Wilson Beach volleyball program and the entire athletic department in the school. But is there like a? I mean, there's always nerves and anxiety going into any postseason match, because it could always be the last one. But the fact that the group handled that and showed poise and composure and maturity and just like championship grit and will and determination last year, do you feel like that's a blessing and maybe gives a little peace of mind and a little comfort in stressful situations upcoming? The fact that you didn't have that going into last year's playoffs and then you accomplished that, is that a blessing or a bonus going in this time?
Yeah, I think it's really helpful, because like we know like what we can accomplish, and we know that like we can win this, and just like relying on each other is like really good, because we all trust each other and like to win and do our best. So yeah, I think it's really helpful last year that we did so good.
Awesome.
For this year.
Obviously, going into to the postseason last year, I mean, yes, there was the pairs tournament, but in terms of like 5v5 competition, like it was all More League leading up to the fact that I mean, no one's going to want to play Notre Dame Academy if they land in Division III. I can promise you that, and certainly, obviously, Mira Costa's legacy and tradition speaks for itself. But the fact that Coach specifically scheduled these, even after the pairs tournament, is kind of the last chapter to go into the playoffs. Is that just feels like it gives you even just that extra that extra edge? Maybe just that 1% of knowledge and preparation this year than you even had last year when everybody thought, okay, we saw Wilson and Millikan, multiple times in the regular season, and everything was lining up with the fact that what we saw here, in that Division II final by you playing them again in the championship. But the fact that this was a bonus on the schedule going into the postseason do you feel that just adds not only even more kind of beach volleyball IQ or acumen, but just that much more excitement?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I feel like, I do definitely feel like more secure knowing that our coach schedules games like better than us. Like when we saw the calendar that Mira Costa, we would play them.
Yeah.
Even after we were done, everyone was just like freaking out. But I mean, we did, like I said, like we didn't have any expectations for it, and so I think just like knowing that we're like secure with like, I guess like our coaching and stuff, like knowing that like we just want what's the best for you guys and just go in and just think like there's nothing to expect.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. So.
Well, and last thing, and I'll ask both of you, Iyla first, and then Jane, you can finish off. So many people come here, and it's the very first time. Obviously, you're gonna have to win matches to get back here, but I know that the motivation and the inspiration speaks for itself. But Iyla, just the comfort level of just understanding what the court feels like, and then also understanding just the depth and and all the surroundings and the ambient noise and whatnot. Like your group not only was the better group than Millikan on that day, but like it just looked like the more comfortable group. But the fact that if anybody's going to play you ladies here, you're definitely going to have the benefit of a greater understanding of what this court feels like, and and how you can excel there. Like, do you feel like that's going to be an important quality, like the deeper we get in the playoffs?
Yeah, definitely. I think. I don't know. It's a really nice like area, and I think since we've played here, I mean since both of our freshman years, I think it's just like always been like kind of like home. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Jane, for someone like that doesn't understand like what it feels like underneath you, and then also just because a lot of times when you're playing at a road facility, there might be like 3 courts going on in one place, and the 2 going on another, or there might only be 3 courts going on period, and people have to wait. Like it's very rare that you're in a facility where all 5 are going on at the same time, and ultimately you can only control being the best Jane and Iyla, but just the understanding of like I said, not only your court but everything that's going on around you, like the fact that that's the norm and not something new for you girls. Do you use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I think we do. It's really helpful that we have like all of our home games and our league games here, because like we know how it is and how the environment is, and like we're used to playing here, and like Iyla said, like it feels like home, and like visiting teams like might come and like it's like new to them, but like it's helpful because we've been playing here.
Absolutely. The goal for 8 teams in the 4 divisions will be to be here on May 2nd. But this group has the comforts of home all the time, and especially when they have one of the best, not just number 2 pairings, one of the best pairings, period, in all of Southern California, in Jane Morrison and Iyla Alvarado. Always a level of security, a level of confidence for the Bruins of Long Beach Wilson. Ladies, great work today. Stay healthy and best luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.